I am Muhammad Naji Abu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we will be discussing about variance and standard deviation. So this is also used to represent the spread of the data, used to understand the spread of the data. So first let me write the formula for variance. Okay. So we can say that variance S square. Okay. Variance S square, this is for the sample data. We can say that 1 by n minus 1 sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar all square. Okay. So which is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n x minus x bar all square divided by n minus 1. So this is the formula for variance, and formula for standard deviation, which is equal to square root of s square. Okay. This is when we talk about the standard deviation. So this is when we talk about the sample data. So if it is population data, we can represent it as a sigma square, which is equal to, we can say that sigma, here it is 1 by n is equal to population data, which is equal to x minus mu all square. Sigma I is equal to 1 to n. Okay. And standard deviation, it will be sigma, which is equal to square root of sigma square. Okay. So this is how we represent the population variance. So here, if you look on this sample data, we have used n minus 1, right? Here this is n minus 1. So this is we call degree of freedom. Degree of freedom. Okay. So this is used to avoid the bias of data. Okay. So if it is used n minus 1, it is unbiased data. Okay, it will be like unbiased. Otherwise, if you use n, it will be biased with the number of data points in the sample data. Okay, so one other thing with respect to this degree of freedom, consider the mean is 10. Consider one example, mean is 10. We can represent as x bar. Okay, consider mean is 10. Okay, if we have two data, consider to get mean 10, consider we have 3 points. Okay, then first one I have selected 9 and second one I have selected 11, right? Then to get this mean 10, okay, the third data must be 10, right? So 9 plus 11, which is 20, and 20 plus 10, which is 30. 30 by 3 is equal to mean is 10, right? Then consider another data to get x bar is equal to 10. If mean is 10, then we have two values. Consider we have a value 1 and we have a value 15. So the third value must be what? It is 20, 10, right? Or consider a different example. Okay, so since here like 10 is coming in both examples, maybe I will select one more example. Okay, so one value is 10. Okay, then another value is 15. Okay, so to get the mean of the data, the third value should be 5, right? That is 15 plus 10 plus 5, that is 25 plus 5, 30. 30 by 3, 10. So here we can use these two values. We can take any of these two values, but the third value we cannot change it, right? If we fix the first two values, then the third value must be 5. If we fix 10 and 15, okay, then the third value must be 5. Okay, so that is what we call it as a degree of freedom. Okay, so coming to variance, what is the advantage of using variance? Okay, so we are squaring it here, right? So that means one of the advantages is that it is always positive. Okay, and it is very, since we are squaring it, is easy to statistically it is very easy to calculate. Okay, and we can say that if the variance is high, that means spread is also high. spread is also high. So here consider an example. We have in a finance system. Consider a finance system, and we found that in a finance system this variance is very high. That means we have high risk. Okay, so we can draw something like this. If the variance is high, maybe consider like variance is 6.6. okay, if the variance is 6.6, we can draw the variance something like this. Okay, and consider this is for variance 6.6. consider the variance is 3.3. okay, maybe let me select another draw. So if the variance is 3.3, it is little bit closer than this is 3.3. okay, so which will be little bit closer than the 6.6. okay, so here the spread is very less, here spread is very high. We say that this spread is very high. okay, so this is one like a couple of advantage of variance, and one of the disadvantage of variance is that we can say that disadvantage. It will give added weightage to, we can say that added weightage to outliers. For example, if we have an outlier here, when we are squaring it, right, it will be double, right? So it is prone to outliers. So this is one of the disadvantage of variance. And one more thing is that if you say about the variance for a normal people, they won't get they will not get like much idea, right? If you say that okay, variance is 6.6, they don't know like what is actually mean by this 6.6, right? So that is also one problem of variance. So to solve this, like we have like another method, that is a standard deviation. okay, so standard deviation is also like prone to we can say that outliers, since it is a square root of variance, right? So it is also like if there is outlier, it will affect the standard deviation, but we are taking the square of it. okay, then standard deviation, we can say that it is square root of variance, s square. okay, and one advantage of standard deviations, it is very easy to understand. okay, if I say that okay, it is one standard deviation away from mean, that means if this is our mean, okay, this is our mean, if we can say that this is one standard deviation, this is two standard deviation, this is three standard deviation. So when it's going to the left, it will be minus one standard deviation, and it is minus two standard deviation, and it is minus three standard deviation. So it is, the standard deviation can be represented in the same scale as the data. okay, so that is the one advantage of the standard deviation. okay, so yeah, I think we have discussed about the variance and we have discussed about the standard deviation. okay, so here also like if high standard deviation means high risk in a, maybe if you talk about the finance domain, if we have like a high standard deviation means it is a high risk. Here also we can, the same as the variance. okay, so that is all about in this video. I hope it's clear and it's helpful you guys. Please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.